Here's a question for you and your family. Is your family counting on an inheritance? Do you know what number you're actually counting on? Because a new analysis suggests the number most families have in their heads is more than twice the number that will actually arrive. Baby boomers hold on to roughly 93 trillion in assets. Yet, according to modeling from Visa Business and Economic Insights reported by Realtor.com on July 14, 2026, only about 36 trillion of that is likely to reach Gen X and millennial heirs over the next 20 years. That works out to roughly 39 cents for every dollar boomers hold to today. Now, if you're anything like most families or individuals I sit down with here on the Gulf Coast, that gap deserves your full attention, because the difference between the headline number and the real number is not bad luck. It is the absence of a plan. The data, where does the other 61 cents go? The Visa analysis walks through what it calls toll booths that wealth passes through before it ever reaches the next generation. Retirement itself is the biggest toll. Boomers are projected to spend around 16 trillion over the next 2 decades on housing, healthcare, food, prescriptions, and everyday living. Long-term care can accelerate that drawdown dramatically. Debt takes on another bite. Roughly 5 trillion is expected to go towards paying off obligations. And here's the part that matters for most homeowners. In 2022, about 41% of homeowners aged 65 to 79 still carried mortgage debt, up from roughly 24% in 1989, according to the Harvard Joint Center for Housing Studies. Among homeowners 80 and older, nearly a third carried a mortgage, compared to about 3% a generation ago. Those balances typically get settled by the estate before anything passes to their heirs. Then come taxes, fees, charitable giving. After all of that, the model lands at 36 trillion, meaning 69% of millennials who expect an inheritance say it is critical to their long-term financial security, including their ability to buy a home. That is a great deal of hope resting on a number that shrinks every single year it goes unmanaged. What most people do versus what smart families do: treat the wealth transfer like a lottery ticket. They wait, they assume, and they never sit down as a family to look at the real numbers. Smart families treat it like a portfolio. They coordinate retirement spending, taxes, debt, housing, and estate planning as one connected system, because the greatest threat to an inheritance is the absence of coordination between those pieces. And the timing insight in this research is the one I really want every family to hear out there. Before you decide to simply hold the property and let the estate sort it out later, consider the alternative paths: right-sizing now and repositioning that equity, structuring a strategic sell, or helping the next generation buy their first home while you can watch it compound while you're still here. Which would you rather leave behind? A property with an unanswered question, or a plan your family understands? The knowledge gap is the real estate divide. The research points to a hard truth. Nearly 3/4 of inheritance recipients are already wealthier than the median household. The transfer tends to reward families who plan and bypass families who wait. The divide is not just about assets, it's about advice. Your next step: how open-minded would you be to your family sitting down and having a real wealth conversation? No pressure, no listing agreement, just a clear picture of what your real estate is worth, what your heirs would actually receive, and the options for you protecting, building, and transferring that wealth on your timeline. That conversation is where generational wealth actually begins, with me, you, your estate attorney, and anyone else. Brandy Loebker, operating principal and broker for Keller Williams, the Coffey Group, Fine Homes International, Barefoot Luxury, Generational Wealth, Built to Last. 941-404-4737, or you can find us at thecoffeegroup.com, or Brandy Loebker at thecoffeegroup.com is an easy way to email us.